Hey guys, welcome back. And it's been a minute since I've done one of these videos just because I have not been interested in going long on anything just because of two things. Number one, we were forming, this is on QQQ on the daily time frame. So we were forming this pennant and then we broke this pennant right here on this support at about 704. So we broke that level right there. And this was a very key area for me to see if we were going to hold that or not. And we broke that. We kind of tried to get back in the mix of it. When we broke it right here, we kind of tried to get back in the mix of it, but went further down, got to about 661. And right now we're at 690. Now, this is very key for me for us to get back to this level at about 700 because it kind of like looks like the same thing that happened on the last time where we had this run. We formed a pennant right here. We dropped, we came back up. I hope you guys remember this time when we were having this consolidation that lasted months and months and months. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this time round, but I would want for us to really get out of these gutters, come to about 703. Then let's see how the stock market, or rather how QQQ is going to behave when we get to this point right here. So also last week we had a lot of earnings going on, and again, reason why I really avoided the stock market and trading anything, just because we had a lot of Mag 7 earnings going on. So really, you just stay away from those types of events, because most of the time I've come to find out they are 50-50. You can get in on something, it becomes a good trade, or you can get in on something and it turns out to be a very bad losing trade. So still back to the main idea, you guys remember that we have, or rather we were chopping since about June. Now, when the markets start to chop, it becomes really hard, to kind of trade, because it's not a trending market. And when I say a trending market, is a market that really makes higher lows and higher highs. You can see right here, this is a good example of a trending market. We went up, we pulled back just a slight bit, we went up, we pulled back just a slight bit, we went up, we pulled back. That is a trending market. And in trending markets is when you find people make a whole lot of money. That every trade is a successful trade. However, as a good trader, you need to be able to realize or understand that the moment the market starts going sideways, this is where a lot of people, they do start losing money, because today you're red, tomorrow you're green, tomorrow it's a whipsaw. You're red and green, you're red and green. And even good setups, you find, you have a nice setup, that is what is on your trade plan, but turns out it ends up being a loss. And it's not because you had the wrong trade idea, but just because how the overall market is behaving at that point in time. So going back to my main idea, we've been chopping since June. And if you haven't really learned the lesson from the previous time that we did chop, you remember, it was just even the good setups that were there, some of them would work out. I'm not saying all of them were not working out, but some of them would work out, some of them would not work out. These types of scenarios where we have chopping going on, it's like death by 1,000 cuts, whereby you're taking small losses, losses, and then at the end of the week or the end of the month, you have a bunch of small losses, and you haven't had maybe a nice winning trade, or you just had one or two winning trades. But all these small tiny losses are really taking out a chunk of the profits that you made. Now, coming back to the same scenario right here, it's the same thing. right here from about June, we have been chopping. I mean, you can see we are not making higher lows and higher highs. It's just up and down in the same range box. And this is what I've drawn right here. It's just the same range box where we are in. And it's very important to understand this because it really enhances how you're trading. Let's say you're not thinking of going long on something because, like I said, today you'll be green, tomorrow you're red, the next day you're green, end of the week you end up being green, and you end up beating yourself, wondering, okay, why didn't I hold that trade? I should have sold it. It's now a loss. No, it's because when you come back to the overall picture of the market on QQQ, you can see it's just been chopping around. We are not making, we are not trending. We are not in a trending market. It's chopping sideways. And then, like I said, we had this pennant. You can see I've drawn it right here. We broke that pennant and we are just starting to ascend back. And that's why I'm saying, for me, this area is of interest just because this has been an established support for quite a while. All these areas it held, and we broke it once here, and this second time round that led to this drop all the way to about right there. So we are coming back up. Today we are at 691. Right now we're at 691, and I would like to see, that's why I'm saying I would like to see what happens here at 700 if the buyers are really going to step in, or if the sellers are going to take hold of this area. That would be key to determine what action steps to really take. Now, I'm not saying the whole stock market is bad. No, it's just the same concept as some stocks are going to outperform, some are going to do very well. However, you have to consider there are some that are not going to do well. That's just something to keep in mind. Plus, since 2025, and then we had this run, it's just been weird. It's really been weird. Not a whole lot of great opportunities, especially this time round when we were trading sideways for such a long time. It's just been weird. But anyway, here we are now, and I'm just saying these are just my opinions. These are just my thoughts, what I'm seeing, what I like. One stock that I had in mind was Tesla, just because I've traded Tesla a couple of times before, and one of the things that I really like, I was just cleaning up everything here, and you can see how we bounced on that trend line there, we bounced on that trend line there, and here we are once more. Now let's look at the bigger picture of this. We can see how this area, this 300, it's about 300, this 298, let's say 298 to 300, it's a key, or rather was a key area for Tesla to hold, just because you can see how significant this was in 21. Can see right here, you can see right here, can see this amazing green candle, how we broke that level. Fast forward, you can see where I'm getting at. Okay, so here we are again, and this is a trade that I'm really liking, as long as we stay above 300. If Tesla decides to, break this 300, I mean, this would be a no-go idea for me, just because you can see how we dropped, and then here we had this candle signifying a reversal. However, when you have a downtrend that goes down, 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 you have this candle right here, this doji right here, it signifies a reversal. However, the key thing to point is that the next associating volume bars, they need to be green volume bars. They cannot be red volume bars. And that's why I'm saying this is a trade that we are in, and I'm really liking it so far, as long as we don't start closing below 300. Now, I'm kind of adamant on my stop losses right now, just because as we spoke about QQQ, I'm kind of very adamant on what my stop losses will be, because the moment we start breaking, let's say when I'm looking at this 310, and look at this here, this candle here, we right here, you can see where this candle, this green candle opened here today. It opened at about 310. So for me personally, and how I'm keeping my tight stop losses, my stop losses tight, is that I want us to really hang above 310. Now 300 is a really last line of resort. If Tesla decides to come back below this, then that's a problem. However, I'm liking what we are doing today. We opened at 310, we're staying above that, and that's pretty good for me. Now, that's all I had to share for today. I hope that helps you understand a bit more about the stock market and where things are playing, where things are moving. Hope that helps you. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you.